President Trump also tweeting about the city of Portland. Here's what he says. Kate Brown, governor of Oregon, isn't doing her job. She must clear out and in some cases arrest the anarchists and agitators in Portland. If she can't do it, the federal government will do it for her. We will not be leaving until there is safety. Democrats insist, however, that the violence and Antifa's role in it is a myth. Here's Gerald Nadler from earlier this week. Roll tape.
It is true. There's violence across the whole country. Do you disavow the violence from Antifa? That's happening in Portland right now? There's riots.
That's a myth that's being spread only in Washington, D.C.
About Antifa in Portland?
Yes.
Sir, there's videos everywhere online. There's fires and riots. They're throwing fireworks at federal officers. DHS is there. Look online. It gets crazy, Mr. Nadler.
Okay, there you have it. MrAndyNgo is with us. He's a journalist who has covered this story right from the very beginning. You're on the ground in Portland. What do you say? Antifa is a myth in Portland?
It's not a myth, and I wish Mr. Nadler would come out here so he can see with his own eyes and hear the explosions that are being thrown by these violent extremists. So day after day now for more than 2 months, we're having people carry out daily violent protests, and it's been getting worse in that the weapons have been they're moving now to potentially kill and maim federal officers.
Wait a minute, that's important stuff. You're on the ground. You are in Portland. What's this about weapons? Tell me more.
So a lot of the weapons are intentionally designed to look innocuous, things like water balloons or water bottles or laser sticks. But as Fox News has reported, these lasers are unregulated. They buy them through eBay or from China or other websites, and they're very high powered in that they're meant to actually blind and damage the eyes. I've had them directed at me in the course of my undercover work. You can't see anything when one is directed at you, much less a dozen of them. And the water balloons are filled with things such as paint. It's used to blind police and then may remove a helmet or they can't see. And then if they remove a helmet, then somebody else will launch a ball bearing from a slingshot at them. This week, there was some type of IED that was thrown at the front of the Portland Federal Courthouse, and the explosion could actually be heard from blocks away.
You were the guy who was beaten up by Antifa some time ago. Was anybody ever prosecuted, arrested, charged, anything in connection with that?
Unfortunately, no, and that's been more than a year now. It happened outside the same area where the rioting has happened now. My warnings to local public officials, state officials, were not heeded.
You're on the ground. Have you seen anybody arrest an Antifa person that you could identify as Antifa?
Yes, actually, there has been one person who, if you read one of the affidavits, and this has not been really widely reported, the first name is Amelia. I don't know how to pronounce the surname, but according to the affidavit, this individual had communicated, who is accused of felony arson and other attacks related to one of these riots. She communicated allegedly with the roommate and talked about how she was with a group of people, that she's part of Antifa, and that it brought her a lot of thrill to be labeled a domestic terrorist, and she was hoping that her actions could kill or injure law enforcement. And when very plainly you see that's what they are trying to do day after day, including just overnight.
Okay. MrAndyNgo, thanks for joining us, and thanks for being our reporter on the ground and telling us what's actually going on. Andy, we appreciate it. We'll see you soon. Thanks very much.
Thank you.